The progression first problem. If the sum of the 5th, 13th and 18th terms of an AP is 0, arithmetic progression. Find the 12th term of the arithmetic progression. So arithmetic progression and geometric progression is what we are going to see here. And arithmetic progression, what is the formula? What is the formula for arithmetic progression? What is the formula for geometric progression?
A plus n minus 1 into 2.
Good. An equals A1 plus n minus 1d. So do you want me to explain why we are getting this formula and how you're getting it? I don't think it's required. I hope so. You all know this, so I'm directly writing this. Or if you want that explanation, like suppose I say 2, 3, not 3, sorry, 2, 5, 8, 11. So what will be the next step? If this is an arithmetic progression, if this is a sequence, can you just say what will be the next term here?
14.
14. So all of you know that the difference, you're going to just see the difference. The difference there is 3. So every time you're adding 3 and getting that, and that's going to be this one, right? So how to get the first term you say as A1, the second term is A2, third term is A3, and so on. 1 minute. And here to get this nth term, so every time like the second term when you get, it's nothing but 2 plus 3. When you go for the third term, you're going to have one more 3 added here. Similarly, one more 3 added here. So this you can see, like when you go for the second term, it is like second term as such we are not taking because you're subtracting 1 from this into the difference, the 3. So when you go for the second term, this is what is going to be your answer, correct? You're taking the first term and the second term, when I say it is basically like 1 3 is added. So that's why I'm just subtracting 1 because this is the first term and into 3. So when you go for the third term, then again one more 3 to be added. So it is nothing like 2 plus 3 into 3. And this 3 is nothing but this is the fourth term. So we'll say 4 minus 1, which I have written here. So this is how we are getting it. So that same thing only now I'm going to write here. This is like an equal to A1 plus n minus 1d is the formula. And what is the sum of the terms?
A plus D, A plus 2D, etc.
Pardon?
A plus D, A plus 2D.
After that?
N number of.
For n number, I'm saying it is not limited to 2 or 3. I'm just asking if it is you have many terms, how will you add that? So there are one way. You will take the same example, whatever I've written here. You can just take that and try to explain here. I thought of not doing the formula anyway. We'll just finish with the formula because problems are quite simple. Yes. So how will you write this now? When I say you have to add, let me take only the 3 terms now. Let me not go more than that. So when you're adding the 3 terms, what is the total here?
15.
Right. So we can also do it in a different way. Of course, this is very simple. You're adding it. The simple way of doing is the average into the quantity will give you the sum. This is a formula which you know that. The sum is nothing but average into quantity, or this one average is nothing but total when you add divide by the number of quantity. So in this case, because it is an arithmetic progression, the middle value will be always an average. So what is average of these 3? So normally whenever it is uniformly distributed or it is an arithmetic progression, we always go for the middle term as the average. Suppose you have 4 terms, then we need to take these 2 terms, add that and divide by 2. So if you have 3 terms, you are taking only the middle term. So this is going to be 5. And how many quantities are there? 1, 2, 3. 3. So this is one way of calculating. So sum of these 3. Though it is very simple, you are taking it. Suppose you have too many terms. If you have some more terms, like keep adding this 17, and then after that 20, then 24, then say 27. Suppose I need to add all this, I can directly go for the average. How to find the average of this? There is again one more thing, like how to find the average. So because simple thing I just said, take the 5 as the middle value. When you have too many terms, taking the middle term is not that easy. So in that case, how will you take this middle term? So what we do here is, you can again consider this example. Add these two, 2 plus 8 by 2. That is, you're taking average of the first and the last term. So when you say 2 plus 8 by 2, what is the answer? That's 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's the average. So when I say so many terms are there, I hope so I written properly, right? Everywhere 3 differences there. No, I made a mistake and nobody corrected it. 11 plus 3,
21.
14.
21, ma'am.
21.
It's 7. No, 3 is a difference. 2 plus 3, 5.
17,
8.
21, ma'am.
17 plus 3 is how much?
21.
17
No.
plus 3.
Correct.
It's correct. The next
20.
term only I wrote it wrong.
No,
23
23, ma'am.
plus 3 is 26. I wrote this one as wrong, right? This is correct. So you have so many terms. I don't even know how many terms are there. I'm just taking this. 2 plus 26 is whatever it is. Divide by 2. So what's the answer? 14.
14.
So the average is 14. And if you want to sum all this, what are you supposed to do? 14 into how many terms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 terms are there. That's it. So if you add this, that's going to be the answer, because the average of this term is 14. So if it is in arithmetic progression, it's always easy to find the average. You just add the first and the last term and divide by 2. Okay. So these are all the different things which I wanted to say. That finally we are going for this formula. So formula, when I say, as you are taking the first term and the last term and dividing by 2 into the number of terms. That is what you have done. So if I write it in a proper way, for this I have to write as 2 plus 26 by 2 into 9. This is going to be the sum of all these terms, whatever I have written here. Okay. Okay or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please answer. I don't know, because sometimes it get disconnected, so I will not be knowing that. This is correct. By 2. So what is this? Where I'm going wrong here?
Ma'am, 2 plus 2 plus 13 is 3, ma'am.
No, this term. Yeah. I'm sorry. I did not taken 2 here. Yeah. The thing is 2 plus this 2. I consider this 2. So again, this 14th term, when you consider, is going to be A1. That is 2 plus n minus 1d. N minus 1d is 14 minus 1 into 3. And this whole divided by 2. So when you divide by 2, this is going to be 4 plus 39. It's still not coming, ma. Something wrong. What is wrong here? I'm supposed to get 14 as the answer here. What mistake I have done? How many terms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
9.
8, 9 terms. So it should be exactly the middle one. If it is even only, we will not get the exact value. Can somebody correct this? Some mistake I'm doing here. Let me repeat again. So this, forget about this. I am just considering the average of this. Oh, sorry. I'm taking only the average. So you will not be getting 14. But still, you can't get this fraction. Someone correct it, please. I'm supposed to get this as 14. First term plus the last term divided by 2.
Ma'am, we have to write as 9 minus 1 instead of 14 minus 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, the number of terms is 9. Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Who is it?
Sanjay, ma'am.
Good. 14 I am by mistake I taken. This is 9 minus 1. Yeah. So let me remove this. We'll write it again. This part is wrong. So here the sum is 2 plus 26. So we are going to find out based on the formula given here. So the formula here is, you know that first term is 2, and then the 14th term, I'm sorry, the 9th term, again I'm making the same mistake. There are 9 terms here. So when to find the 9th term, this is going to be 9 minus 1 into 3. Whole divided by 2 is going to be your average. or I can say into 9 gives you a sum. So this, if you take it 2 plus, this is going to be 24, right? See, 8 into 3 is 24. Hello, Sanjay. Again, we are going wrong.
Yes, ma'am. We have to add another 2, ma'am.
Super. Okay. Again, I made mistake. This is the first term. I'm very sorry. This is the first term, and we are going to take the last term. The last term is again 2 plus 9 minus 1 d. D is 3 whole divided by 2. So this is going to be the average, and the quantity is 9. Yeah, I don't think there's any mistake in that. 4 plus 24 divided by 2 into 9. So we are going to get this as 14 into 9 again. So what is 14 into 9? 36, 3, 1, 26.
126.
126. Good. So this is the answer we are getting here. So the thing is, again, I made a small mistake of considering this as 14 terms. It's actually 9 term. Okay. So this, now you know this. This is one of the formula. Taking the first term plus last term by 2 gives you the average into the quantity will give you the total sum. So the same thing only you are using here. So when you write it here, I'm going to take the first term plus the last term. The mistake which I did is I kept forgetting this A1. The last term when I consider is going to be what? The one which we have written here, the same way. Is going to be A1 plus n minus 1 into D. Last term, the whole divided by 2 into the number of terms. So when you calculate, I'm taking the common term n by 2 separately here, and the balance what you have is, you bring this a1 inside, this is going to be 2a1 plus n minus 1d. That's a formula. Okay. This is a simplified formula, n by 2 into 2a1 plus n minus 1d. But in case you know the first term and the last term, you can directly find out. Take the first term plus the last term and divide by 2. That into the quantity gives you the total sum of the terms. Okay. So again, like yesterday, I'll just copy this problem and then we'll start doing it. How about geometric progression? Okay, we'll do that when the problem comes. Let me finish up this first. Yeah, please do this. Try at least. Ajay? Are you trying this?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So, put the term. Sum of the fifth term plus 13th term plus 18th term in the AP is 0. And expand these terms. You know the formula. I'll do it here. One of you can keep telling this. Tell me now how to write this A5.
A plus 4D, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Write it down. A plus 4D. Good. The next term. So here is going to be like A plus 4D. The next term will be
A plus 12D.
A plus 12D. Good. Then
A plus 17D.
A plus 17D. And that should be equal to 0. And simplify this. You have to tell this. Hello.
A is equal to minus 11D, ma'am.
No, you don't go for the direct. I asked you to simplify this. How many A's are there?
3A.
To simplify this is going to be 3A. And how many D's are there?
29.
It's 4D plus 12D is 16D. 16D plus 17D is how much?
31.
No more. 16 plus 16 is?
32.
33.
33.
When you have 16 plus 16, it is 32. And you have 17 here. So one more
33.
extra. So it's going to be 33D. 33D equal to 0. So we can say that 3A equals minus 33D. Or we can say A equals minus
Minus 11.
11D. So you have just found out the relationship between A and D here. And now go to the problem. The problem asked is find out the 12th term.
12th term.
Yeah. So how do you write this?
A plus 11D.
A plus 11D. And now you replace this. What is A equal to?
Minus 11 plus
Yeah. So what's the answer?
0.
0. Good. That's it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll move on to the next one. Hello?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now you tell me this one. The terms of an arithmetic progression are all positive. The square of fourth term equals the sum of the squares of the previous two terms. Sum of the first four terms is 14. Find the common difference. How will you proceed in this? I want you to tell me. What you're supposed to do first. So the first statement is nothing to do with that, correct? The first statement we have nothing to do, so just leave it. The second statement. Square of the fourth term. So how do you write the fourth term? So first thing what you need is the fourth term, and then what else is required? We need fourth term and the previous two, that is third term and second term is required. Okay. And now you tell me what you're supposed to do. How do you write this fourth term?
A plus
A
3D.
plus 3D.
A plus 3D. And also it is mentioned that the square of the fourth term. So you just square that. Okay. Square of the fourth term equals to. So we are going to equate this. Sum of the squares of the previous two terms. So we are going to consider the squares of the previous two terms. So A3 term, how will you write that?
A plus 2D,
A plus 2D.
the whole
And
square.
it's going to be squared again. Then another one is
A plus D.
D the whole square. So it's given that sum of the previous two terms. So the sum of the squares of the previous two, sum of the squares of the previous two terms. So square of this I'm taking and square of this and we are adding it. That's what. Now you can find out the values. I mean, you can simplify this. This is going to be a square plus 2ab. So 2ab will become 6ad and plus 9d.
9D square.
Good. Then here, this side.
A square
A square plus
4AD
4A
plus
plus
4D
plus 4D.
square.
4d square. 2d the whole square is 4d square. Then here
A
again
square
A square.
a square
AD.
plus
2AD
2ad
plus
plus
D square.
d square. So which is a common term we have here?
A square.
A square is common. So one of the a square you can cancel. Another one. There's not something else which is common here.
6AD.
6ad because you have 6ad which is equal to 4ad plus 2ad.
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 So that also can cancel. So what is left out now is 9d
9D
square,
square.
which is equal to
5d
4d square plus d square. Yeah, 5d square.
5d square.
Something else is missing.
A
What else?
square.
And the A square.
Plus a square. Otherwise, there is no meaning in that. So here we are going to have this as 9d square minus
5D square.
5d square because these two add up to 5, which is equal to a square. So that is 4d square equal to a square. And what is a equal to?
2.
Is it only 2?
2d square.
Is it 2d square?
Plus or minus
Mm-hmm. Is it 2d square?
2d.
2d, that's all. That's all. Of course, it is plus or minus I can put, but let us not go too deep into that. We will consider this as 2d. Okay, when you are taking root, this also will go off, right? What is the question? Sum of the first 4 terms is 14. Okay. Sum of the first 4 terms, you can apply the formula directly. We know the formula. What's the formula? Write out separately. The formula is Sn equals n by 2 2a plus n minus 1 d. Okay, so now you apply that formula here. What will you get that? N is what? They are asking you to find for the sum of the first 4 terms is 14. So that is nothing but 4 terms we consider, that is n equal to 4 by 2. And the first term, nothing is mentioned here, we don't know. Okay, a 2a plus 3d. And that is equal to 14. So this is 2. 2 goes there, it's going to be 7. So you will have 2a plus 3d equals 7. And what is 2d? 2d is equal to, or a equal to 2d. A equal to 2d, if you put, this is going to be 4d plus 3d.
Then 70, ma'am.
7d equal to?
D equal
D
to
equal
1.
to 1.
7d equal to 7. So d equal to 1. So that's a
1.
That is the answer. There some of the terms of an infinite geometric progression is 27. So geometric progression, what do you mean by
AR.
let us go to the formula first. Geometric progression. So how do you do this geometric progression?
AR square.
What is
AR.
AR? Good.
First,
AR.
AR square,
R
AR
square.
cube.
So AN will be, what you said is right. A is
AR power n.
Is it AR power n? Check and tell me. Suppose I have 4 here. Is it going to be A into R to the power 4?
AR power n minus 1.
N.
And now you just now said, see, this is the first term, this is the second term, this is the third term. All what you said is good, correct. Now AN equal to, I just want to formulate this, the formula I have to generate. So here,
AR power n minus 1, ma'am.
good. AR to the power n
N
minus
minus 1.
because the first term we are taking is only R, A. And what is R here? Common ratio. Like there we had common difference. Here you are going to have common ratio. So can you give an example for this? Let us take 2. The next, suppose I consider as 4. If I consider next as 8, what will be the next one? 2, 4, 8 as 3 examples are given. So what will be the fourth one?
14.
How was it 13?
Sorry, ma'am. 12, ma'am.
How? If you, that is a common difference. Okay. When you go for the common difference, you are taking the difference of the two. Whereas here, if you see the difference are not same. 2 and 4, the difference is 2. Whereas 4 and 8, the difference is 4. Can you form an equation? The sequence here? Anyone? What will be the next value? But if I give you the next value, then other one you can find out easily. Shall I give the next one?
10, ma'am.
No, ma. 16.
14.
Now you tell me what should be the next one. I think now it will be clear.
32. 32, ma'am.
Very good. 32. So you got it right. So it is doubling every time. That is what is the ratio. When I say ratio, that means the ratio of these two is same as the ratio. See, in the previous case, in the arithmetic progression, what did you see? In arithmetic progression, I gave you an example of 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 and so on. So here you can see the common difference. Of course, I didn't tell there, thinking that you must be knowing, otherwise I will just explain this. So you can see everywhere the common difference was 3. That is what you have mentioned, right? Difference, right? CD. Whereas here, if you consider in this case, the ratio will be same. Normally, we go for ratio as second term to the first term. So, what is the ratio of second term to the first term? Second term to the first term, what is the ratio?
2:1.
4 is to 2, that is nothing but 2 is to 1. Good. So, we can say the common ratio in this case is nothing but 2. So, you can see that every time, like you multiply this into 2, you get this. Multiply this into 2, you get this. And multiply this into 2, you get this. So, that a common ratio. The first term 2 when you take, the second term is nothing but 2 into 2. 2 is the ratio, this is the first term. And here in this case, it's going to be 2 into 2 square, r square, that which you said. The third case is going to be 2 into 2 cube, 2 into 2 power 4, and so on. Clear? Any doubt in this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so this is GP, geometric progression, what you have. You have this ratios when multiplication. Okay, whereas here we are going for arithmetic operation, like addition. Sometimes it may be coming down also. Like we can say D can be negative also. I can just start from 14 and then keep reducing 11 and then 8 and so on. Then the D we say as minus 3. When it is increasing, we say plus 3 plus D here, whatever it is. In this case, it's going to be negative. And the same thing applies for your geometric progression also. In geometric progression, as I said, r equal to 2 in this case. You can also have r is equal to 1 by 2. If I start with, say, some number, let me take 60.
R less than 0.
R less than 0. It can be 1 by 2 also. If it is 1 by 2, what will be the next value? Suppose I say, in this case, a equal to 64 and r equal to 1 by 2. What is the third term? What is going to be your third term?
16, ma'am.
How do you do that? See, first term, second term is you're going to have 64 into the r is 1 by 2, which is going to be 32.
32.
The second next term will be 64 into 1 by 2 the whole square. This is third term. Right. So it's 1 by 4. So 64 by 4 is 16. The next term is going to be again 8. That is 64 into 1 by 2 to the power 3, which is going to be 8 and so on. So do you understand this formula? AR. And here some of the terms. How do you say some of the terms? You have the formula. What is that formula? I think you were saying that. Some of the terms here will be A into R to the power. Let me write it in red color so that you will understand that it's a formula.
A
So
1 minus R power n by 1 minus R.
Some here will be A into A1 now. Yeah, A1 is nothing but the first term. Okay, fine, good. A1 into R to the power n minus 1 divided by
R minus 1.
R minus 1. This is for the ratio if it is more than 1.
More than
Yeah, this is only for R greater than 1. So when you say R less than 1,
1 minus R power n minus 1 by 1 minus R.
yeah, the same, this will be there. Then this is going to be 1 minus R power
R
n
power n minus 1 by 1 minus
divided by, sorry, it's going to be 1 minus R. And let me tell you one thing, I never consider this as two different formula because this is same as this. When you say that 2 minus 1, let me write something bigger number, 5 minus 2 divided by 1 minus 2. So 1 minus 3 if I write, or 1 minus 4 if I write, it is same as 2 minus 5 by 4 minus 1. Is there any difference here? 5
negative
minus
sign.
No, you won't get. Because you are changing here as well as here. I don't think any change will come. What will happen here? Okay, we'll do it the negative sign. And let me give you some other example where you get a negative sign. Suppose I give you a bigger number. 2 minus 11 by 3 minus or 4 minus 3. Okay, what is the answer here? Minus 3, correct? Is it minus 3? This is minus 9 divided by 3. Minus 9 by 3 is nothing but minus 3. Is that clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, if I interchange this and write it in this way, 11 minus 2 by 1 minus 4, what is the answer?
Plus 3.
Is it plus 3?
Minus 3, ma'am. Same.
Same.
Minus 3 only, ma'am.
It's only minus 3. So there won't be any change because you are multiplying the numerator into minus. Similarly, down also you are multiplying into minus. So they will get cancelled with each other. So there won't be any change. If you are only making this as multiply into some negative sign, then the answer will change. But we are doing in both numerator as well as denominator. So that is what is done here. I don't know, every book gives this one. Like if it is r greater than 1, this is going to be the formula. If r less than 1, this is going to be the formula. But as such, if you see, both the formulas are one and the same. There is no difference here. So if you just remember one, that is sufficient. Only thing is, it will get cancelled. You will get a negative value here, you will get a negative value here if it is less than 1. And both will get cancelled. Right? It's not having two different formulas, it's almost the same formula only. Okay. And there is one more formula which you have. Infinity series. Suppose I say your r is less than 1. Okay, I'll explain that in the next page. You have something like r less than 1. Say we are starting with 1 or 2 also you can start. You start with 2. And if you say that r equal to 1 by 2. If your r is 1 by 2. Then what will be the next value? R, the 2 you are having, then 2 into 1 by 2 is 1. Then again 1 into 1 by 2 will be 1 by 2. Next value. Hello.
1 by 4.
1 by 4. The next will be 1 by 8. 1 by 16. 1 by 32. So you keep increasing the denominator. It will be like in fraction, correct? Even I'll leave this one. Let me take only these values. So what will be sum of all these terms? Can anyone say this? What will be sum of all these terms? It keeps going. I'm not stopping it anywhere. Okay, the next value will be 1 by 1024. Then it's going to be 1 by 2048. It keep going. There is no stopping there. Then what will be the answer? Infinite series. You would have done this in your maths. I'll just remove this 2 also. I don't want that 2.
1 by 2, ma'am.
Answer is 1 by 2. See, one thing is you're adding, right? All this you're adding, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So when I say you're adding all this, 1 is already there. And none of them is negative here. Everything is positive. So when you have 1 plus something, will the answer be less than 1 or more than 1? If there is a multiplication, then we can't say anything about it. So 1 into 3 by 4 is going to be less than 1. But here we are going to add. So when you're adding something, like you have 1 here, 1 plus something when you add, the value is going to increase or decrease?
Increase.
Increase. So will it be less than 1?
No, ma'am.
You consider only the first 2 terms itself. What will happen? 1 plus half is how much?
1.5, ma'am.
1.5. Again, this is 0.25. So how much is that total? 1.5 plus 0.25 will be 1.75, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, half of that data in. So what is going to happen is it's all going to add up and approximately this is going to be 2. You would have seen this in the maths. Maybe you would have forgotten that, but the value is going to be 2. Closer to 2. It will not be exactly 2, it will be closer to 2. So this will approach this to 2. Okay. So this is infinite series problem. So for this you have a formula. The sum is nothing but a by 1 minus r. So what is your r here and what is your a here? A is 1. 1 minus 1 by 2. So what's the answer? 2. This is an example. I cannot say every time is going to be 2. So if you have your series with this one ratio is 1/3, then the value is going to differ. It's not going to be same. What will happen if you have 1/3 as r? 1 divided by 1 minus 1/3. So 1/3, 1 minus 1/3 is 2/3.
2 by
3 will come up, then it's going to be like 3/2.
3 by 2.
Okay. So that differs. But here, this is something very, very common one. That's the reason I written here. So when one you take and keep dividing by 2 all the time, the entire value together is going to be it's going to be very closer to 2. Okay. That's it. This is one formula which you should remember for infinite series. And I hope so. One question will come now, like, what if it keep increasing? Like ratio is more than 1. Nobody is having that doubt? Yes, ma. Harini, Nivedita, Sanjay, Aditya is not there today. Ajit, who else has joined? There are many people. Binila, Alaga Meenal. Hello? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I asked you one question, that is, if you have the ratio greater than 1 and if it is infinite series, what will be the answer? Like here I have given you for less than 1. If this formula is mainly for when r is less than 1. If r is greater than 1 and if you have infinite series, what will be the sum of the terms?
Infinity.
Infinity. That's it. You keep on increasing this. There is no limit for that. Then the answer is going to be infinity. So that's why you don't have formula for r greater than 1. When you have r less than 1, this is the formula. Okay. So now we'll go for that problem. Yes, please do this. Sum of the terms of an infinite geometric progression is 27. The sum of their squares is 364.5. So first we'll write this. What's the formula for the sum of the infinite terms geometric progression? I'm sorry, sum of the terms of the infinite geometric progression. That is a by 1 minus r. That is given as 27. And the next one is sum of their squares is like you have the terms. Each term is a square term. Like you have 1 square or 1 by 2, like whatever it is. I previous problem, whatever you're taking that way. 1 by 4 square. Of course, it's not 1 by 2. I'm just writing this. So that kind of terms, if you have, that means the first term is a square. First term is a square and your common ratio is r square. So in that way, you can write this as a square by 1 minus r square. And that is equal to 364.5. So now what you should do? Are you on line or left?
No.
Nobody is answering. Please keep answering something, otherwise I will not know that you are still there or all slept. Because
Ma'am,
sometimes
we can divide it.
you can divide this, which will get cancelled. Okay, we'll divide it. So how will you divide this? But nothing is getting cancelled. So one way what you can do is you can square this first. Right. So what will happen if you square this term? A square by 1 minus r square equals 729. Good, 729. So the one which you have common, as you say, you can divide also, or you can just say, yeah, divide it. As you said, divide, now you divide it. this term divided by the second term. What will happen here? This is what is 364.7.5? So when you divide, this 2 will get cancelled and this term will come up, correct? So this side, sorry, I am not supposed to put a line in between. There is a break here. Okay. These two will this denominator will come up. So this is going to be 1 minus r square divided by 1 minus r the whole square. And here, what is 729 by 364.5? .5 into 2 is 729.
2.
It's 2. Good. That's it. Now you can write this. What is 1 minus r square?
1 plus r, 1 minus r.
Into 1 minus r. Whole divided by, you have 1 minus r into 1 minus r equals to 2. This one of them term will get cancelled and bring this term to the other side. 1 plus r equals 2 into 1 minus r. So 1 plus r equals
2 minus
2
2r.
minus 2r. So solve it now. What will come here? Bring this 2r to this side. Then this will become 3r and
Into
bring
1 by 3.
1. Therefore, what is r?
1 by 3.
1 by 3. Good. That's the answer. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And move on to the next one now. The number of bacteria in a colony doubles every minute. If there are 1024 bacteria after 5 minutes, find the number of bacteria present initially. So you have to find the initial value. So how will you do this? Different approaches are there. So you can just try one. At least I want your idea, like what you are supposed to do here. Now the answer, please. First thing is write down what is given there after 5 minutes. So when you consider after 5 minutes, the total bacteria what we have is 1024. I think it is almost like a coronavirus spreading, right? So now after 5 minutes is going to be 1024. So initially how many were there? So that is what you have to find out. So what is given here is every minute it is going to double. I am going to do it in two different ways. One is like direct without applying any formula. Can anyone suggest what I am supposed to do now? When you don't apply formula, how will you do it?
2 power n is equal to.
I say with the formula. That is, we'll use the formula and do it later. But first I want you to try this without using the formula. When I say the 5th minute, after the 5 minutes, it has come to 1024 and every 1 minute it doubles. So what will be after 4th minute?
5 1 2.
Good. 5 and 2. Right, half of this. Because it's after 4th minute, if it is 5 and 2, it doubles. Then after 5 minutes, it's going to be 1024. So after 3rd minute, 3 minutes. After 3 minutes,
256.
256. 2 minutes.
128.
Good. 128. Next. After 1 minute.
64. 64.
4. This is after 1 minute, but they're asking for the initially. So
So it's
initially
32.
is going to be the original value, which is nothing but 32. This is quite easy, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. It is easy provided you have only 5 minutes. If you're asking you for after 15 minutes, you can't keep doing this. Correct. So if it is 5 minutes, My only suggestion in the exam is you try to do this directly. But because you don't have to think of the formula, or even 4 minutes or 3 minutes, if they're asking immediate answer, you can bring it. But otherwise, we'll go for the formula. The formula wise, we'll see. Let us consider that there are X bacteria initially. What will happen after 1 minute? What is going to happen?
2x.
Correct.
Is going to be 2x, double of that. After 2 minutes,
4x.
2 square into x. I'm supposed to write this, maybe I'll change it. I want to write in the same way the formula, like x into 2. Then yours going to be, after 2 minutes is going to be x into 2 square. 3 minutes is AR. If this is A, this is R. And then next is going to be x into
2q.
Q. Is that correct? Okay, 2q. Right. And then 4th minute. X into 2 power 4. And the 5th minute. X into 2 power 5. So after 5th minute, this is the after, like this is the initial one. After 1 minute means we are considering this. After 2, after 3, after 4, after 5. So after 5, what you have is x into 2 power 5, which is equal to 1024. So what is 1024?
2 power 10.
2 power 10. So you write down this. This is 2 power 10, and this 2 power 5, you're going to bring it down. So that is nothing but 2 power 5, which is 32. Okay. Applying this formula, you can get this answer. Only thing is, like, I'll write it properly. Only thing is, like, you have to see whether you can go for this direct or you can apply the formula. If it is too lengthy, always go for formula. I'll move to the next one now. Read the problem. The price of the car is 1,50,000. A person purchases a car in installment. In the first month, the person pays an installment of rupees 2,000. The next month, he pays 2,500. In the following month, the person pays an installment of 3,000, and so on. The person pays the installment for a total period of 2 years. Find the extra amount paid by the person over the price of the car. Right. So very first thing we'll write down is the price is how much? It's going to be 1,50,000. Okay. And now this is geometric progression or this an arithmetic progression?
Arithmetic progression.
It is arithmetic. So what is the first term? Hello. What is the first term? It's 2,000, right? The very first month he is going to pay 2,000. So the next month what is going to pay is
A plus 2.
2,500. Or I can say this is nothing but increment of 500, right? So again he's going to pay 3,000 and so on. So how many months is going to pay? He's starting with the first month, second month, third month, and so on. He pays for totally
2 years.
2 years is nothing but 24 months. So that we don't know what the amount is, but he pays for 24 months. And what is a D here? What is A? A is nothing but 2,000, and your D is, what is your D here?
500, ma'am.
That's only apply in the formula now. What is the formula? Everybody is there or not? Hello.
Ma'am, n by 2.
No, my n by 2 into 2a1
2a
plus n minus 1
1.
d. Apply this and apply the formula here. So there are 24 months. So 24 by 2, 2 into
2000
2000, good. Then
plus 24, 23.
23 into 500. That's all. You need to calculate this. 4000 plus 23. Let me consider this as 1000 by 2. Or I can say 230. You can easy way of doing is 2000 by 2. So I'll consider this 100 separately. I mean by 2. So what is this by 2? 115 and then 2 zeros will come. Instead of directly multiplying, or you directly multiply 5 3 15 1. That's all. Okay. So what is this answer? 12 into how much is this? It's like 11,000 plus 4,000 will be 15,500. You need to multiply 155 into 12. The 2 zeros I'll put it in the last. 2 5 10 1 balance. 10 plus 5 15 plus 1 16 1 balance. 2 plus 5 7 plus 1 8. Then 1 plus 0 is 1. No, 2 plus 1 is 8. Then we have this one. So you have 2 more zeros left out. So I have to write that also. That is 1860. Then followed by 2 more zeros, which I didn't consider here. So this is the amount he is going to pay. And what is the actual amount? And balance is 36,000. So that is your. This is the extra amount which is going to pay. Is it clear now?